friends, welcome back to my channel. It's Tori, and today I am going to be telling you about the books I plan to read in August. Alright, so July happened. The end of my July did not go the way that I was anticipating, and a whole bunch of stuff came up in my personal life that kind of derailed everything for the second half of the month. And it was a good moment for me to learn how to just kind of let go of the TBR for a minute, and the channel, and the writing, and all the things, because I had to do all of those. You know, honestly, July was just a great reminder for me that sometimes you need to let go of the things that don't matter as much in order to really focus on your health and your family. And when things go crazy in your personal life, you just have to be flexible with everything else, and that's totally okay. I'm still not entirely sure what my August TBR is fully going to look like, but I do have a couple of buddy reads coming up this month that I'm very excited about, and a couple of other things that I'm going to be playing catch up on a little bit, and we'll just see where it goes. I'm planning on leaving myself as much mood reading room as I can, and also because now I'm going to be finishing my epic fantasy novel in August as well, I'm gonna have to be a little bit more flexible with the TBR still this month, just to make sure that I can get that done and give myself the time and space I need to do that. First book on the TBR for August that I am just equal parts incredibly excited and very nervous about is Dead House Gates by Steven Erikson. This is book 2 in the Malazan Book of the Fallen, which is one of my favorite series of all time. And I have not read this book for 10 years, and it still remains my favorite fantasy novel and one of the most formative books I have ever read for myself as a writer. I have no idea how this experience is going to go. I'm really looking forward to rekindling the love that I've carried for this book for the last 10 years and re-experiencing the story now that I have a lot more experience with epic fantasy in general, and I think it's just going to be a whole different ballgame, and I'm really looking forward to that. So, Dead House Gates I will be reading with my friend Ty the Reader Guy, channel link below, and my friend Nuclear Katie, who also read Gardens of the Moon with me this last month, and we had a great time discussing it, and I was really excited that both of them had a good time reading. So I think we are going to continue on with the series. We don't have any particular timeline that we're sticking to, other than just taking the time we need to read each book. It's not something where we're doing a book a month necessarily. If it happens, great. If not, we'll take more time. I do plan on maybe making a video about my Gardens of the Moon read this last month, because that was also the first time I'd read that book in 10 years. And man, I just had an amazing experience with it. So, but more on that later. Dead House Gates is happening in August. Gonna be fun. Next up, this one got shifted to August, and this was one of my July reads originally, but I decided to push it back a little bit because I didn't feel like I had the right headspace to give this book the attention that it deserves, and that is Bone Shroud by my friend Andrew D. Meredith. This is book 2 in his collation saga after Deathless Beast, which I read last year. And I'm very excited to read the sequel. Everybody I know that has read it speaks very highly of it as a level up from book 1, and it's just more of all the things that I loved in the beginning of the series. So I'm looking forward to that. This one, I'm trying to think. There's so many sequels that I'm reading this month, which I think will be kind of fun, because I honestly looked around at my shelves the other day and realized how many series I've read either the first or the first 2 books of and need to actually like finish or catch up. Very much looking forward to Bone Shroud, and hopefully this month I will have a much better headspace to be able to appreciate all of the wonderful things that are going to be inside it. After that is another one that got kicked into August from July. Originally I was planning on reading An Autumn War, which is book 3 in the Long Price Quartet by Daniel Abraham in July. And thankfully, I had only committed to reading one and not both in July. So for August, I'm going to do the same thing. We're going to commit for sure to An Autumn War. And these are not super, super long books. All 4 of them are contained in this one omnibus edition. And I'm really looking forward to getting back into this world. I absolutely loved the first 2 books so much, so I'm really looking forward to reading the last 2 and getting that incredible payoff that everybody always talks about. So yeah, again, another book that I'm really looking forward to jumping back into. Now, one of the things that I'm going to try to be really cognizant of and really careful with this month is all 3 of these are going to be slightly denser reads, and they're all going to be incredible, but I'm going to be very careful because I want to make sure that I don't totally melt my brain into a puddle of tapioca pudding this month trying to read a whole bunch of incredibly detailed epic fantasy. We'll see how it goes. My brain is still a little bit melted from the end of July, so we're gonna give ourselves some grace and just see how this goes. After that, the next book that I will be starting, I'm starting another series in August because that's what we do here, and I will be reading We Are the Dead by Mike Shackle. I cannot remember the name of the trilogy, but these chonky boys are very, very, very highly spoken of in the fantasy community, and I've been hearing amazing things about Mike Shackle's writing, and they've been on my list for quite a while. I've been wanting to read them since at least last year, and then I saw Mike's book reviews do his discussion with the author and talked about his experience reading it, and a couple of other people I know had read them, and I just was like, you know what? It's time. We need to start reading this. And so I reached out to my friend, Dr. John Morrow, who was on my channel for a Imposter Syndrome episode, which you can view up there. And we've been wanting to do a buddy read, and we decided that we're going to buddy read We Are the Dead by Mike Shackle together. Now, again, I'm looking at my stack, and I have some chunks on this stack for August, so I realized that we're just gonna see how it goes, and that's okay. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to We Are the Dead. I've heard amazing things, and it's about time. Outside of that, I have so many books on my shelves that I have just been wanting to read, and there's too many of them to narrow down exactly which ones I'm going to pick, and I think because of that, I'm going to leave the rest of the month open for just some mood reads, because I think I've got plenty on my plate with the 4 that I mentioned to you guys, and I have some review copies that I'd really like to dip into this month, so we'll see if I can get caught up on a few of those as well. And after that, we'll just kind of see. I do anticipate reading some more Spiffbo entrants, because I have quite a few of those that I'd really like to get to, and I have like a ridiculous amount of books on my Kindle that I will try to slowly get through. But yeah, this last month just was a really good wake-up call for me, I think, in not being too handcuffed to a TBR or a schedule, or, you know, I really needed a step back to deal with the personal stuff, and some of it's still ongoing, and so this is just the what's probably going to happen and what I would like to accomplish in August, but I am definitely going to give myself a lot of space while I'm dealing with things behind the scenes and also trying to finish my book, because gosh dang it, we're going to finish this book, guys. So, but in the news about the book, actually, so if you are hearing this for the first time, I'm currently working on book 1 of my epic dark fantasy trilogy, The Legends of the Brewhigh, and book 1 is going to be called The Bloodstones, and it is theoretically coming out at the end of 2023. I'm very, very excited about it. I have put more work into this book than anything I have ever written before, and I am very excited to share it with all of you. I am currently at the about 135,000 word mark, which for non-writers out there probably doesn't mean much, but in theory, this book is going to end up around 150,000 words, which I believe is actually how long Deathless Beast by my friend Andrew D. Meredith is. It's about 150,000 if I remember correctly. So we're looking at about that big of a book, and it's going well. It's suffered some setbacks, and that's okay. And I'm just trying to put out the best version of my book for you all, and I'm very excited for it to make its debut. I do have a couple of interviews / book friends chats that I'm in the process of talking to everyone about who's involved in them, so hopefully we will have a couple of live streams. Next Sunday, I am actually going to be interviewed by my friend Kate from the Literary Apothecary. I'm very excited about it. I don't get to take the booktuber hat off and put the author hat on very often, and I'm very excited to chat with her about my supernatural fantasy book, Phased. Next Sunday on her channel. I will link the video up here so you guys can come and hang out with us in the chat and ask any questions that you want to. So that's about the plan for August. Imposter Syndrome will not be coming back in August. I think what I'm planning on doing is, I love the show, but it is something that takes a lot of effort to promote and coordinate, and right now, while I am trying to finish my own book, it's too much. So Imposter Syndrome will be back, but I don't know entirely what month we will be bringing it back in, but I do fully intend on continuing that. Thank you guys so much for all of the support to the channel. I cannot tell you how much it has meant to have the channel and the community with you guys. It's been amazing. We're almost to 3,000 subscribers on the channel, which is insane. So thank you for that. I really appreciate it. And I hope that you guys are all having a fantastic month of reading. And I hope that you found a new 5-star read in July. And I will see you in the next video.